Good evening, all.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening. So we have only no hardly 12 to 13 participants. So can you wait for 2 more minutes?
Yeah,
Let
no problem.
others, yeah, let others to join. So let me share the PPT in the meantime. Okay, so let's start. For this session, we are going to see about project monitoring and control and how to close a project, this project closure. So, as we saw, from the first session of this project management module, so there were six stages like in completion, of the project. Because we have six project stages, phases. So, first one was the initiation, that is conception, and the second one was the definition, that is so defining the project to all the parties who are not like involved in this project, including management, including customers, and including the stakeholders. And then there's the planning and the execution, and then comes the monitoring and control, and finally, how to properly close the project. So let's start with the definition of what is monitoring and controlling of a project. So monitoring, it refers to collection, recording, and reporting information. That is collecting all the factors which is involved in the project, which is being like executed in the project, recording of all the factors, like which is involved in the project, and reporting that particular factors, all the information regarding those factors or regarding those activities to all the parties concerned. So this gives a clear idea about the performance of the project to everyone who is involved in the project. That is the management, the workers, the employees, the stakeholders, shareholders, potential investors, the what do you say, the government, and the clients, the suppliers, the vendors of the raw materials, and the group of customers as well. Because uh, making customers being part of the project, it always helps, because like they can closely monitor the project and give the feedback uh, then and there, so that there will be a much advancement and no much improvement in the final product quality and final service quality. So all these parties will come to know about how the project is performing, and so they can like give their feedback in between. So collecting all the information, recording all the information. Recording is like documenting. So documenting, digitized documenting, and reporting the information. So everything is being like done, and all is being shared with the parties who are interested or who is involved in the project, so that they will come to know about how the performance of the project is going on. The project performance they will come to know about. And controlling here means using the data from the monitored activity to bring actual performance to planned performance. So uh, for the management or for the project team, so they will be having a set of actual performances. They'll be having a set of planned performances. So if it is an agile project, so there may be it will be a breakage of the bigger project into smaller projects. There is no mini sized projects like sprints or charters, and completion of those mini sized project, there is a time frame that is maximum within a month's time. Those mini projects has to be completed. So once a mini project is completed, it has to be monitored, and feedback has to be got from all the parties involved. And then if there is any need for a change, the change has to be implemented in the project, and then moving on to the second phase or the second stage of the mini project. So this is how it is done in agile project management. So so these are the planned performance. So this is what the project team wants its team members to actively participate in executing the project. So controlling here refers to controlling all the factors, including the project performance, including the activities, including the roles and responsibilities, and including the procurement of the required resources and usage of those resources and optimization of the available resources, and especially the cost, the money. So there should be a proper control in money, and because a budget will be assigned, a budget will be planned for executing the project by
Hmm.
the so in nowhere, no, before the completion of the project, if the budget exceeds the given limit, so then there will be a kind of backed back end. So that shouldn't happen. So there should be a complete control over the cost, which is being implemented in the project. So control in the cost of the project, it is control in the expenses which is being incurred in the project, and control in the manpower activities, and control in everything, usage of the raw materials and everything. So uh, using the data from the monitored for proper controlling, for the best controlling methods, the data which is collected from monitoring all these activities, from collecting, recording, and reporting information. So with the help of this data, the control activity is being effectively done, so that there is a control over all the activities in the project. So that comes the question, why to monitor? Why there is a need to monitor project? It helps to measure the project performance. So how the project is performing. So whether it is in the line, or is it deviating from the main course, or the activities are rightly performed by the team members, and are they correctly following the rules and regulations or the guidelines provided by the team head. So the project, the performance of each and every factor is being monitored. So there is a control over each and every activity. And to use the process to look at the project plan, review project status, identify potential problems. So identifying the potential problem is a very important concern here, because as the project proceeds, so uh, there are no expected risks and
Yeah, it's there.
so expected risks or something, no, which is controllable. Risks and uncertainty, no, they have lot of difference. So risks are something, sometimes, no, few risks and uncertainties, they can be very well, they can be, known in, before the start of the project. but there are few factors, no, which is no like completely unknown or no sometimes out of control. So known factors are like the expectation of competitors' product being launched in the market, or sometimes the there may be a sudden inflammation. There may be a sudden raise in the price of the raw materials or the resources which is used for the project execution. So these are the expected risks and expected uncertainties. And unexpected risk or something, no, there is a sudden change in the government. So the highly government, no, that completely changes. So they come the new government, the new rule, they completely, revamps everything and comes with different rules and regulations for commerce industries. So these are something which is unexpected. A sudden breakdown in the economy of the country, or a sudden rise or decrease in the inflation rate. So these are unexpected things. The weather also plays a very important role in case if the project is out of the no premises, out of the it's in the outer environment and not inside the office premises. So these potential problems, few can be identified at the start of the project, and few cannot be identified, cannot be analyzed, or few cannot be, expected, in the start of the project. So it comes unexpectedly. So if there is no any potential problem, it is going to happen, so it can be identified uh, with the help of monitoring the project then and there, and implement changes whenever necessary. So that is the importance of a project execution. So wherever the changes are necessary, yes, it has to be implemented, and the new changes has to integrate along with the existing project plan. And monitoring allows managers to establish effective project timelines, including scope, budget, and schedule. So, timelines. If the project performance is monitored, obviously the project will get completed within the prescribed timeline. So, it will not exceed beyond the time limit. So that the cost can be saved, energy can be saved, and time can, and the budget for the project can be saved. Guys, please mute your audio. And this monitoring phase coincides with the execution phase of the project life cycle. So monitoring not only it helps to understand where the project team is right now, but it also helps in the execution of the project life cycle. So while executing the project, the team will very well understand, what is to be done in case if they are implementing a new project, they are planning to have a new project, maybe after some time. So from this present project, they will be learning their mistakes and errors, and make sure that this is not repeated in their next project, the other project as well. So this is why we have to monitor, and we have few points more as well. So, why monitor? It's simply because we know that things don't always go according to the plan. It never goes, especially in industry, or in organizations. So it cannot go according to the plan. So there is always plan A, plan B, plan C. So if one thing is not working, so obviously the new change is being accepted, adapted, and implemented, and the team goes with project the plan B. So that is how it works. And to detect and react appropriately to deviations and changes to plans. So whatever deviations is happening, so the project team has to come out of the deviation, be on the line, and if there is any changes has to be implemented in the project, and that has to be implemented as well. So this is the reason we have to monitor. That is, monitoring the project is very much important while executing the project plan. Okay, so what to monitor? What are all the factors to monitor in the project? So monitor and control the project work, the total project work the team has to monitor and control. Integrated change control, the change control. So if there is a change, which has to be implemented, so sometimes the whole change is completely accepted. Sometimes a part of the change is accepted, or sometimes even a small charter of the change is being accepted. That is no a small the smallest factor of a part. So that is being accepted. That is being like adapted by the team and know that is being implemented. So it depends. It depends on the situation, why it has to be implemented, or no, like it depends on like how much cost it involves, and it depends on how much time it takes. So all these factors play a very important role in implementing a new change into the project. So performance quality control. So if there is a no like a control has to be happen in the performance of each and every team member. Scope verification and control scope. So to check whether it everything is going online. So whether the object is being met, and all the activities like it's completely concentrated towards the organization's goal or the project's goal and objectives. And control schedule and control cost. Obviously, cost plays a very important role. There should be a lot of control in the cost, and report the performance. So only while monitoring the project, um, you will know can you can report that project team can report the performance note to the management. So otherwise they will not be knowing in what stage they stand in the project implementation. So if the management is asking something regarding the project execution, or no like something from the project, so no one will be having an exact answer for the question, which comes from the management. So with the help of monitoring, so the data will be collected. So the all the data will be shared with all the team members, and any question from the management, it can be tackled easily. And then control risk and uncertainties. That there will be a good control, and administer the procurement. Whatever resources are being procured for the project, so that will be administered. Okay. So somebody wanted to speak. I mean, I think they lifted their hand. May I know who is it? And if you want to ask any question, you can. Someone raised their hand. Okay, so let's continue. So okay. So the main important functions, the for monitoring and controlling the project is gathering the project status updates. You have to gather all the project status, execute and revise the communication plan. So communication, when it comes to communication, sometimes few important matters it has to be communicated with each and everyone from the team in the project team, and few information or few data sharing, it has to be communicated only with those team members, no, confidentially. So not with all the team members, which is not necessary right at that moment. Um, that depends on the decision making of the project head. So if the project head wants to share the information with all the team members, yes, it can be. Or if the project head wants to know refrain few information and share it only with the few parties or few particular executives in the project team, so that can be done. Execute and revise project schedule, monitor and manage risks and issues, facilitate project change management, manage track decisions. So these are the important factors to be remembered while monitoring and controlling the project, and which is to be followed very strictly. To sum up everything, manpower, that is human resources, their activities, their day-to-day activities, their performance, and the hours of the working, or no, like how many days they have worked, and what is their roles and designations and roles and responsibilities, whom they are reporting to. So everything is monitored. The machines or the machineries used in the project, that is to be monitored. The materials, all the resources, materials, that is to be monitored. Money has to be monitored. Money flow has to be monitored. The space, the required space where the project is no being implemented, whether it is no indoor or outdoor, wherever it is. So that has to be monitored. The time has to be monitored. Tasks. The task here represents no the bigger task at the end of the project, or it can be the total task, the bigger task, which is being broke into like smaller tasks, that is smaller sprints or charters. So task has to be monitored, and quality and technical performance of the team, that has to be monitored. And then, so if like classify all these factors, so few factors it comes into like under inputs and few in the outputs. So under inputs we have time, money, resources, material usage, tasks, quality and technical performance. In the outputs, so what do we get is a progress, cost, job starts, job completion, engineering or design changes. Changes always it comes in input, sometimes in input and sometimes in output and sometimes in both the cases, and variation order. So when to monitor? End of the project. It completely depends on the team's head, or the team leader of the project, or the team manager, or as per the like top management advice. So either no at the end of the project it can be monitored, but if like monitor at the end of the project, so you cannot implement any change in between the project execution phase. So better to like monitor the project continuously, regularly. So as soon as possible, or like at each task completion, and while there is still time to react, and pre-planned decision points, that is in each milestones. So as I said, agile projects. So it can be agile project is breaking the bigger project into smaller project, which is called as sprints. And these sprints, smaller project, it has to be like completed within a month's time frame, maximum within a month's time frame. And once it is done, so that has to be like monitored, control, and the feedback has to be gotten from all the interested parties and the team members. So each and every sprints can be taken as milestones. That is, each and each after every sprint is gets over, so that is taken as a milestone. So during like it's completely like the project head or the project team leader's decision. But in case if the top management wants to know like if they want to know like continuously know what is happening in the project, maybe sometimes on the daily basis as well. If the project is like a smaller project, maybe within a maximum within 2 months or 3 months time, the project is getting over. In that case, the management may be requiring the feedback from the project team on the daily basis. If it is a longer project, like if it is for 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, like in those cases, you can have a time frame or timeline or like milestones, and you can report that information. Okay. So how to monitor? How you will monitor? Of course, there are no like few methods to monitor a project, and CPA per chart, PERT per charts are available. Gantt charts are like these are like calculations, like a kind of statistical or mathematical calculations, which can be done by the project team, and to monitor the project, and through meetings with the clients or meetings with the team members, with the parties involved in the project. And by doing so, you can monitor the project using earned value analysis and calculating the critical ratios. So these are the other two methods for monitoring the project measurement. And milestones, reports now taken by the team members, and tests and inspections by an invigilator or from a representative from the management team, and delivery or staggered delivery. PMIS, Project Management Information System Updating. So this is kind of a software. For example, if you take the software being which is installed in the production unit, it's called as Production Management Information System. So for project, it's mentioned as Project Management Information System. If it is the software which is installed in the warehouse for easy maintenance and management of warehouse, it's termed as Warehouse Management Information System. So it depends on the activity or the no like the main activity where the software is being no like implemented, which is being no like installed in their systems, in their digitized systems. So this project management information systems, it helps the team to monitor the project very closely. And these calculations, CPA per charts, Gantt charts, and no like earned value analysis, it is automatically done by these PMIS systems by the software. It's actually a software, so it can be automatically calculated by the system, and instant reports can be got from the system. So since it is digitized, you can know more very closely monitor the project execution, the execution part, and you can check the monitoring process or check the execution part even every hour you can check the process, every hour you can monitor and control the process because it's completely digitized, no, and it involves less manpower. Okay, so it's easy for maintenance as well. So once the monitoring is done, and meetings will happen between the top management and the project team, or between the members of the project team, or between the team members and the stakeholders, or between the customers and the stakeholders, or between the customers team, the project team and the customer stakeholders. So when the meetings are happening, usually to help the team to overcome any difficulties in implementing the project. So these questions, this kind of support can be given by asking the team, what problems, are you anticipating in the future, or do you need any more information which you do not have right now? And because for researching all these things, the project team will have to spend a lot of time other than implementing the project. So if these parties, that is the top management or the middle level management or the stakeholders or the shareholders or sometimes the customers as well, if they can help the team with all these information, it will be easy for the team to go on with the implementation phase. It will be easy for them. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of time for them for researching on these things, and then getting the idea from the expertise in the industry, and then reporting to the top management, and then asking their permission, and then getting the required resources from the top management. So during meetings, these kind of questions, can be asked to the team, that is a project team, and if they want any of these or few of these, and it can be, provided to them. Like any possibility, your task will finish in case early or a little late, and will your task be completed under budget or over budget or on budget? And do you need any resources you do not have it, or information you do not have it, and what problems do you have, and what is being done to correct them? So these kind of questions can be asked. This is not to check the skill set of the team, but to help them in the execution of the project. Okay, so Once the monitoring and everything has happened, the execution is done. Now comes the project closure. So how to properly close the project? Closure is very important part because once the execution is done, you cannot leave the project aloof. You cannot inform the all the parties that the project has been executed and everything is being done, and now it's the other people's responsibility, and now there is not going to be any project team anymore. So that cannot be done. That there is a proper way to close a project. So there are few steps to know for closure of a project. So ensure that all necessary project tasks, processes, and goals are achieved. A cross check, a quick cross check. Though cross checks, though monitoring is done in all the phases in the project, at the end stage, if the cross check is being done, a final cross check is being done, that would be far better. So in case if anything, a very minute thing can be, left out, but that those things, those minute things may create a big effect or a big difference, while the project is being, finally implemented. So it's always, to go with the final cross check, like whether all the task processes, goals are, completely achieved. Then coordinate with stakeholders and clients for approval. Just check with each parties, ask each parties and get their approval. Because even after the final completion, they may have some feedback, to give to the project team. They may think that if this is also being included in the project, it gives an added advantage to the company or it enhances the product or the service. So, so it's always better for the team to coordinate with the stakeholders and clients and know if there is any feedback from them, ask them, and if that change can be implemented before the final execution, yes, please, you can implement, and that can be communicated with them. Then review the project together with the client. So review. So with the client, that is with the customer, completely review the project from the start till the end. So and not even check the execution part as well. So whether the purpose of having started the project is being met. So a review has to be done, and if done, all parties shall formally recognize the project to be over. So it is very important that all the parties involved in the project has to give a positive nod. No, it's very, very important. So otherwise what happens is uh, though even though it is not documented, even though the feedbacks or their changes, whatever changes they are mentioning, even though if it is not documented, so after the execution of the project, if there is a need to implement that a small change which was suggested by any of the stakeholders, uh, it may require a lot of time and no cost to implement after the execution of the project. So it's always better to do it before the final execution, final implementation of the project. So always go with the final everyone has to recognize, completely recognize and finally approve the project. And then project management team shall convene to discuss their learning. So what they have learned from the project, what mistakes they have done, and what positive things they have learned, and what are the opportunities they have identified while doing this project, while they were working on this project, opportunities and threats, and whatever their own strengths and weaknesses, or the competitor strengths and weaknesses, or the organization strengths and weaknesses. So everything can be discussed among the team members and discussed among with all the stakeholders and the top management. And so this is a great learning for the team, not only for the team, but for the top management as well. So why? Because this learning will help the team members and the top management in the future. That is, in the future, if they want to know, like go on with some other project, a newer project, or the advanced project to enhance the present product or the service. So it always helps them. And formally document learnings for future reference. It's always good to document each and everything. So each and everything, even the what has no like been discussed in the meetings, or no like what has been, what information has been no like uh, transferred from one party to another party, or from no like one team player to another team member. So if everything is documented, it's always going to be like good for the company, good for the team members. So this is the six steps like to like a prop to properly close a project. So to sum up, if you see, so finally, to close the project, project deliverables are formally transferred to others, and lessons learned or documented and archived, and contracts are formally closed. So completely closed. Okay. So uh, as no like I remember in the first session of this project management, someone was asking. So in case of service sector, service industries, so when will a project get closed? So it is a continuous process in service sectors. We cannot say no, a particular project has been no completely closed. So they keep on enhancing the service. They keep on enhancing the the product being like given to their customers, being serviced to their customers. So in service industry, it's a continuous. The project is a continuous process. Maybe there may be a break, or there may be a time gap in between like between the first project and the second project. That is the enhanced project of the first project. But no, if you look, if you closely look upon, it's a continuous process. So that's how it happens in the service industry. So, so finally, project closure phase is no like all the deliverables, the exit criteria are met. All the deliverables are being handed over to the parties, which are no like waiting for the no project execution, and transfer of deliverables to customer and support functions. All the deliverables are being transferred to the final customers or the consumers. You can say customers, consumers. They have like there is a little bit difference. Customers or people like who may consume the use of product for themselves, or they may resell the product. Whereas consumers are like those who use the product for themselves. So in case of consumers or customers, the deliverables are completely being transferred, and report, the PIR report records, recommendations, and lessons learned for future products. So everything, all the learnings, and like whatever whatever factors has been like interchanged between the team members and the client, or interchange between the team members and the suppliers, and team members and the top management, uh, whoever it is, like everything is being recorded, documented for future product project reference. Okay. So before ending up, uh, the concurrent engineering. This is no like another way of no like project implementation. This is the completely opposite term of no like agile project management. So agile, the sequential project management or the agile project management is something like your um, breaking up the project into small projects or small phases or stages. And once the first phase is complete, stage is complete, you're like moving on to the second stage, and then moving on to the third stage. But concurrent engineering is something where simultaneously all the projects, small projects, are simultaneously it's being like monitored, controlled, and executed simultaneously. So you don't have to wait for the first smaller sprint to get completed before starting the second sprint. So it goes like this: the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all the sprints. So everything, like in remote locations or no, or in no, like if it is in the same location in different zones, it is being no, like planned, implemented, executed, controlled and monitored, and finally executed, closed and executed. So that is what concurrent engineering is meant. This is completely opposite of agile project management or sequential project management. So let's see the definition. So it's also known as simultaneous engineering. It's a method of designing and developing products in which different stages run simultaneously rather than consecutively. So it decreases product development time. Of course, the time, no, the deliverable time, no. So obviously it decreases. So because agile project management, though the quality of the project is being maintained, though the present trend or the no like the market change is being implemented in the project, but it takes a little bit time, no, to finally reach the customer. But here in concurrent engineering, since the smaller projects are no like simultaneously it's being no like monitored and finally executed, so the time deliverable time is being no like considerably reduced. So it decreases product development time and also the time to market, leading to improved productivity and reduced cost. It's also mentioned as, that is, it has other names as well: simultaneous engineering or integrated product development using an integrated product team approach. So these are the other two terms for concurrent engineering, that is simultaneous engineering or integrated product development. So this gives the best example of no like concurrent versus sequential. So normal engineering, that is like any sequential engineering. So first the requirements are being no like jotted down, and the design, that is the how the project has to be like made or being implemented. So when to start, how many members has to be in the team, and should there be no like any departments, and who will be the supplier of the resources, and who's going to be the vendor, and who are the target customers, that is the clients, and where the project has to take place, and who's going to be the head of the project, and like when what are all the no like the timelines, no, where the project the flow of the project has to be reported to the top management. So these things comes under design, and finally, no, like the project is being implemented, and the monitoring and control verification process goes on, and finally execution, that is production is happening, and the project is being no like finally closed in the sense, no, like it's being transferred to the client, finally transferred to the client. Whereas in concurrent engineering, if you see, when the requirements are no like happening, the design implementation is being done. So when the design is done, the actual implementation of the project is being done. And when that is done, the verification and monitoring and no controlling part is done. And the production is also done. So if you know, take a closer look, you can see the time, the market time or the lead time. No, there is a reduction in the lead time. Lead time is nothing but no the time between the requirement, that is the demand for an order from the market or the customer, and the time where the product is being delivered to the customer or the market. So that is the time. Okay. For example, if you're no like placing the order online by say 10 p.m. today, and the product reaches you tomorrow afternoon by say 3 p.m. So the time in between, that is from the no like from 10 p.m. tonight to 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So this is called lead time or market time. So this is being considerably reduced. when no like in it if concurrent engineering no project is being implemented in project management, whereas in sequential engineering or agile engineering or agile project management, so though the quality of the the final product or the service is no like superbly good, far well good or great than the concurrent engineered product, but the time it takes no little bit more time for the final product to be delivered to the customer. So this is the main difference. You can take any example for this matter. Say, take an example of, a production unit, and for example, the organization is planning to have a own production unit or own warehousing unit. So that becomes a project. Okay, so you have to know like as a team member, as a project team member, you have to know like execute the project. So first requirements will be collected. The requirements will be like what type of production unit it has to be, or what type of no warehousing unit it has to be. So what is the product all about, which is to be produced or which is to be stored in the warehouse, and where the no location of the warehouse or the production unit has to be done, and what do you say? What are the machineries, which is to be installed in the production unit, or what are the racking system which is to be installed in the warehouse unit? How many employees are required to manage the premises, and what are all the activities, whose responsibility is who. So these are all the requirements, and comes the design is like how to design the production unit or how to design the warehouse. So there are many designs for for physically planning the infrastructure of the production unit or a warehouse. So the designing part. So where the machineries has to be, installed. So the how the line process has to go on, and where is the entry point and where is the exit point. So same applies with warehouse as well. So where should the storage be happening? Where should be, the scanning department, and where should be the packing and packaging department. So these things comes under the designing part. And implementation part is like you're implementing the project, and like seeing how things are working on, going on, and you're checking how the process is like going on smoothly. The verification process is where controlling and monitoring process, and seeing all the production is now under control, and the machinery, the usage of the machinery, usage of the electricity, or usage of the resources, and usage of the manpower and their skill set, everything is being rightly used in the project implementation. It applies with both. It applies with in any industry or any project. So then finally the production is the final execution of the project. That is what is the output of the project. So the company may be planning of if it is a production unit, so the company may be planning, okay, on a daily basis, at least 5,000 to 6,000 units of the product has to be produced. So this can be monitored, this can be checked on. So whether no all the you required, all the resources are being properly utilized, and the production unit is really actually producing 5,000 to 6,000 unit volume of no units or volume of products no on a daily basis. If it is a warehouse, so how much storage is no happening per day, and how much throughput is happening. Throughput is something, volume of products entering into the production unit or warehouse, and volume of the product going out of the production unit or warehouse. So this is throughput. So what is the throughput for the day, or what is the throughput for the week? What is throughput for the month or quarterly or half-yearly? So this is the production, that is the actual execution part. So once this is seen, and once it is confirmed, okay, everything goes on in line. So now the project team hands over the deliverables to the parties. In case of production unit, the project team delivers to the production unit, the production department. So the production head takes care and takes control over the production unit. In case of warehousing unit, the project team hands over the warehousing activities and warehousing, like factors, everything to the warehousing team. So the warehouse manager or the warehouse departmental head, like completely, like takes the responsibility of managing it. So now the responsibility is being transferred from the project team to the concerned departmental heads. So this is how the project is being completely closed, properly closed. So in concurrent engineering, this is normally happening in the sequential engineering. This is how it happens in the sequential. But if you see in the concurrent engineering, same factors or the same activities go on, but on the like not in the sequential basis, but a simultaneous basis. So requirements are being met. When requirements are being like planned, the designing part is being done by another team members of the project. When the designing part is being like done, the implementation with the available resources and with the available facility, the implementation part is done by another team members, another group of team members. And when implementation is happening, the monitor is now being done by another group of team members. When monitoring is happening, the final execution part, the throughput is being calculated by another group of team members. So finally, if you see, if the normal engineering, if it takes 6 months for a project to complete, the concurrent engineering hardly it takes 4 to 4.5 months to complete. So this is the main difference between the normal engineering, which is otherwise called sequential engineering or even agile engineering, agile project, and concurrent engineering. This is the main difference. So it depends on the management's decision or the team's decision, or it depends on the time limit available for the execution of the project and the cost, the budget, everything. Okay, or the manpower which is now being required, the required manpower or the manpower available with the company right now. Right now how much they have in hand and the space available for implementation of the project. And no, all these factors play a very important role, no, in selection of what kind of engineering plan, no, to be considered for project management. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So, any doubts as of now?
Mom, can you please
Mhm.
implementation please again?
Sorry,
Implementation please.
implementation.
Yes, please.
Okay, implementation phase is no like you're checking whether the project is no like working out. This is the working phase of the project. That is whatever you have planned with the available resources and whatever no like designs you have made, you are like working the project. That is you're implementing the project. So only with the implementation you're no like checking the project so that no you will come to know what are all the positive and the negative outcomes of the project. That is implementation stage. Is that
Yeah,
clear?
this one only for technical project, ma'am, or any kind of project.
Any project. No, it very well applies for software projects as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other doubts? That's it? Okay. So we are at the end of this project management module. So I'm finally summing up, like everything. So the project management is like it consists of like important 5 stages. Initiation, that is conception stage. planning stage, execution stage, monitoring and controlling stage, and finally closure stage. Initiating stage, that is the conception stage, inception stage, whatever, all refers to the same. Inception, conception, initiating. So that is developing the project charter, that is developing, like all the project requirements and identifying all the stakeholders. So wants to, who are the members, who should get involved in this project. That is identifying the stakeholder and the planning stage, it consists of developing the project plans, developing the baselines, fixing up the time frames, and planning the stakeholder engagement, and to up to what extent they can like check into the project. So that like planning their engagement. Then comes the execution process. That is like direct and manage the project work, manage the team, and manage the communication, manage stakeholder engagement. And fourth processes, monitoring and controlling the project work and controlling the performance integrated change, controlling the cost, controlling the schedule, quality, and the resources utilized, controlling the communication, analyzing the risk and controlling the risk and procurement, and monitoring stakeholder engagement. And finally, the closure of the project, that is closing the project by delivering the project deliverables to the concerned parties. That is the final clients or consumer of the project. Priya?
Accept, ma'am.
Okay. So if there is any doubts, you guys can stay for 2 more minutes and you can like ask your doubts, or else like you can leave the session. We will meet next week.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you.